Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Chanel, the Living Dolly. What's up? Happy Sunday. I hope everyone is having a great day today and a great start of your week. Today we're going to be doing a travel story time. You all know every time we travel, we always have a bunch of things that happen, right? Because traveling sometimes is very unpredictable as much as you plan for certain things, but say what. So I hope you enjoy this video. Let me know what it is you think. You'll know I love to hear from your comments in the comment section down below, and let's get straight into it.
First, please make some noise. Give me a sign. This can't be life if there's a point to losing love.
Okay, so I apologize if my voice sounds a little bit scratchy. I'm getting over the cold, right? I don't know what is this latest thing. Every time I travel, I come back a little bit sick. But anyway, so we have rented a vehicle. Trip has started. We're in Mexico. I'm excited. 36th birthday vibes. Woo! Everything is going great. So it was our first official day of being in Mexico, right? And we went to the Chichen Itza as well as to two cenotes, Samula and Eshkeken. If you want to see more about it, definitely check out my Mexico travel vlog right here. It's going to be linked in the description box down below for you. So that will set the scene of what exactly I'm speaking about. So we rented a 7-seater since from the day that we arrived, because there were 7 of us. And on the way back, this was about, I don't want to lie, right? This could be like about 10-ish, 11-ish. I think more 11, right? On the way back home, well, back to our Airbnb, which I would say is about 3 hours away from where it is we stayed. The cenotes were 3 hours away from where we stayed. Driving back in pitch black darkness, because Tulum is a developing country, and on both sides of the streets, in certain cities or areas that we go to, there's nothing. There's just tall, lush vegetation, very high trees. They also have warning signs of jaguars and wild monkeys, and to make it worse, no street lights. Yeah, I wish I was kidding, but certain areas, especially on the highways, no street lights. So just imagine you have a high beam on, you're punching it, okay, because we definitely were speeding, to get the hell out of that darkness, because it was jet black. Literally, you cannot see anything. And all you would see, like on the opposite side of the road, is like lights coming towards you from a distance. That is what was going on. And the engine light comes on. We're in a strange country. Can barely speak the language, right? I'm the closest thing to a translator, because for the most part I would understand Spanish, but I may not be able to speak it all that well. But you know, for the most part I try to make it work, right? The engine light comes on, and I was actually asleep, but then in the whole commotion I'm hearing like my cousin Keon and like Natalia speaking and saying, okay, what do we do or whatever, and that woke me up like immediately. I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm in the front seat, he's driving. There's like nothing in front of us, nothing behind us, hardly any cars, because it is almost midnight. It's really late in the night. It was just a very scary experience. And all I kept telling myself was, Chanel, you better pray, okay? Because God alone could pull you all through this kind of crap. We have no idea where we're going. We don't know where the next gas station is. We don't know if this vehicle is going to shut down on us. Like, we just do not know what is going to happen. So you need to pray. So I kept asking him, how is it driving? And he said it's kind of cutting off. So it'll be driving and it'll be doing this kind of bucking thing ever so often. And I'm like, okay then, just breathe. And everybody was basically sleeping. My sister managed to wake up too, and she was just like reminding me, you know, prayer and worry don't mix together. So I'm just like, okay, great. So let me just try to focus on the prayers and focus on how good God has been to us, me in particular as well, right? So if it is, he said he's going to take us out of this very lonely, dark place with a vehicle that is not working properly, we're going to make it. It just so happens that we end up approaching a town, and there's a gas station right at the beginning of the town. So we drive straight in there. Me as well as my cousin Keon, we try to talk to one of the attendants. He lets us use his phone. Miracle, because people in strange countries don't really like give up their phone like that for you to be using. They don't know you from a can of paint. They're not obligated to, right? So he actually allowed us to use his phone and call, well, to be able to call the Hertz company, which is the company we rented the vehicle from, because if this thing cannot help us make it home, they're going to need to provide a replacement. At least that is what I was thinking. So it just so happens that Hertz is actually like a 24-hour company. So they had someone on the night shift. He did answer, and he said that the closest any kind of help, any kind of aid will be there in 3 hours. This is midnight and a little bit after. We cannot wait 3 hours. Besides that, we have plans for the following day. So this is definitely a huge hiccup. But I was just grateful that God got us out of that extremely long, dark, lonely highway to be able to get some kind of help. So at least they are aware, because they are telling us what we need to do is go straight to our Airbnb, since we don't know how long the vehicle is going to last. I wanted a replacement the very next day, but that did not happen. Anyway, basically they will have no help besides telling us go straight to Airbnb. Okay, great. So we're out of this town. It's like several towns you have to pass through to get to our Airbnb. So we're out of this town, left the gas station, thanked the guy for allowing us to use his phone, back on it again. The engine light came back on. But at this point, my cousin is literally speeding. Like, I think we were going like probably 200 in a 40. Like, we were gunning it because we needed to get out of there. Now, please keep in mind, my friend Natalia has her 2 kids in the back seat, right? Not only that, we know it's speeding, and it's very hard to see our turn off because, as I told you, pitch black, right? Hardly any street lights in Tulum. We eventually get out of the shadows in, like, I would say about 45 minutes, right? And we were all very happy, thinking, yes, we're out of the, the darkness. We're about to get home. What do? Well, my cousin happens to turn into a street that is not our turn off. From a distance, I could spot there's 2 front lights on, but they're on low. And I'm thinking to myself, why is this car in the dark? Okay then. So when it is, we tell him, no, Keanu, you're in the wrong place. He decides to turn around. All of a sudden, we see blue lights. Boop, boop. It's on. I'm like, okay. Now, we were warned from before. We usually do a lot of research, my sister in particular, when it comes to places that we've never traveled to before. So we have heard that the police are corrupt in Mexico, right? Tulum, Cancun, they're very corrupt. But somehow, like, I don't know, you go into these things not thinking these things will happen to you. I don't know if I'm the only person, but I was thinking nothing's going to happen, we're going to be okay. But was I nervous? Definitely, because I'm telling myself, the wasted time that we're waiting here to talk to this officer, this car could shut off and we are in the darkness. But anyway, 2 officers come out of the vehicle, and one comes across, a heavy stock guy comes across to my cousin, the driver's side, and he wants to see driver's license and insurance and everything. And my cousin in English is trying to tell him, no, I'm a tourist. I only got into the country yesterday. I'm sorry, I missed the turn. And the officer kept saying, you have children in the car. So that is an offense, a criminal offense. Therefore, the only thing I could do right now is either take your passport or driver's, and you go tomorrow, please God, to collect it at the station, and you pay me 3,000 pesos, whatever the currency is. I can't remember the name of it right now, but basically 200 US. At this point, we're all panicking. We're just like, no, like, no, nobody has 200 US. You're not taking any passport, no ID, no. I'm still praying because I know how illegal and corrupt they could be. So I literally took my phone that was in my hand all the time and I put it underneath my leg, sitting on it. I'm just like, you ain't taking this phone, okay? Just saying. And my sister is in the back seat trying to talk to the officer, but like, he didn't want to hear anything from her. He only wanted to talk to Kian, and he's trying to make it out to be like it was such a great offense that there's a child. Mind you, he only saw one child because the other child was folded over in the back seat sleeping, right? So he kept reiterating, you have a child here and you're endangering the safety of the child. Therefore, I have to charge you. You have to pay this money. And we are all like, no, this can't happen. And I'm just there praying in my mind. I'm like, Lord, listen, you just took us out from one situation. You are not going to allow us to end up into another one. In Jesus' name, this is going to be sorted out and we're going to go home, okay? In peace, right? Okay, so eventually the other officer calls him to the back and was like, basically, listen, these people are not going to pay you this money because they are so accustomed with them coming up with these fraudulent charges with tourists. And of course, nobody wants anything to spoil their time. So I'm thinking they are saying to themselves, tourists usually would just pay us the money and they could go along their merry way. So you would be 3,000 Mexican dollars richer, 200 US richer, and we would be lesser for it. Are you crazy? So whatever they spoke about at the back of the vehicle, they basically, I think the other officer let him know that this is not going to work. They're not falling for it. It's better you just give up, let them be on their way. I'm just like, okay then. So he comes and he was just like, I'm going to let you go with a warning, right? And we're just like, this is so stupid, like this is crazy. But I think in the whole hastiness and just wanting to get away from them, my cousin ended up turning into another street, driving all the way down, and getting lost. Like it was just going from one to the next to the next to the next. They had to run into a hotel and ask the desk officer downstairs to help them out, like plug in the ways and try to get it. All of that was fine. I just did not want to, while we're driving back out the road, bounce up these same officers again, and they're just like, oh, so y'all didn't go straight home, or you know, whatever, and just try to make up some kind of fraudulent charge again. It was just a very crazy night after having such a great day in the cenotes and doing something different, because I told myself, listen, you're not going to miss out, okay? Because I'm a girl who's afraid of quite a lot, but I'm just like, I'm not missing out. I'm going to go into that cenote. I do not like how it looks or it feels. I cannot feel the bottom. It's okay. We're going to do it. So after having such a great day like that and putting yourself out there, facing your fears, you know, conquering something, to have to deal with a car that is faulty, missing your light and almost being charged, it was just a lot. But eventually we did locate our Airbnb. It was quite an ordeal. I think being in a foreign country, especially dealing with police and that kind of thing, is never an easy thing to deal with. But just to warn you, if you ever decide to rent a vehicle and you're driving through Cancun, Tulum, anywhere in Mexico, please be aware, be mindful that the officers are very corrupt. Right? But all in all, to say, I'm glad that God brought us home safely and we were not charged, and we continued on the very next day to have a great trip. Okay guys, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my quick little travel story time. There's actually about 4 or 5 other story times I could actually give you all, because wow, okay, a lot happened, but nothing stopped us from having a great time. So if it is you did enjoy, don't forget to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe if you want to continue supporting your girl and your channel, and my channel, sorry. And I just want to say thank you all for showing all the love and support on my Mexico travel vlog. I do have vlogs posted on a daily on my TikTok. I also post on my Instagram. Come follow me at all these different places, and I am so glad to be back to just be pushing out a lot of content. Weekly vlogs are coming, daily vlogs, skincare, makeup products, so much more to tell you all, including these glasses that are for Mo, right? So stay tuned. I have a weekly vlog coming really soon. I'm going to see you in my next one. Bye guys.